weight loss strategies and things you can do besides tracking macros. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. I will say the wait list is open for BBC, guys, so get on the wait list because it's going to fill up. Body Boot Camp is my 8-week program. If you're not new here, you know about it. It's #1 rated, very, very well received program. And I personally love doing that program. I love the community. That's my favorite part.
That's the best part about a program like that, is building a community, because you're going to get resistance when you're on a new journey, because the outside force will be like, why do you want to lose weight? Why did you stop doing this? Why are you doing that? They're so concerned when you embark on a new journey. People are weird. Humans are weird because they're like, well, I'm not part of this journey, so I'm going to hate on your journey. That's what I feel like. Or
they will celebrate you until they perceive that you're losing too much.
There you go. Here's another one. But they don't celebrate you when you're gaining too much, ever.
Right. Very, very true. Very true. And we're going to get into that. I have something I want to call upon soon. First, I will say also, you guys, if you're interested in potentially working with Mike or I, if you are not aware, we actually do take phone consultations. They're absolutely free, and you can discover what programs we have, pricing, and all of that. So I will link those things down in the description, and you can book either with Mike or myself. Either one you resonate with. There's no rules, by the way. If you're a female, which we have a highly female audience, and you prefer Mike's style, you are more than welcome to book with Mike as well. But so I just wanted to remind everybody, because not everyone is aware. You got to let people know.
I know. Fun fact, when I was a personal trainer, I was probably about 80 to 90% females, my client list.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Not males.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask them why they preferred a male trainer versus a female?
Because they felt like I was going to be harder on them. But I was going to push them a little harder, not take no bullshit. And I think, too, for some reason, I don't know why. They would open up to me a lot about their personal life. I wouldn't ask for it. They would just tell me things. That's why I learned a lot.
I remember seeing you before I even knew you. I felt like all you guys, you would just talk. I would just see you talk with your clients. Very little sets. A lot of talking.
Yeah, and they like to talk.
I remember because I would be sometimes working out near you and just talk about this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like the lady that was older, she was a lot older. She ended up working at the airport or something and volunteering at the airport. Elsa.
Yes, German lady.
You guys talked a lot.
Yes, we got pretty close, pretty tight. I actually went to her house to help her with something. And she just... I felt bad for her because, she lost her husband and she's older.
She was lonely.
Yeah, and she was a nice lady, you know what I'm saying?
What about that one client that you had that you guys would go on walks? Do you think she had a crush on you?
Darcy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I was her type.
You would go on walks as your session.
That's what she wanted to do. I had to get permission to do that because that's what she wanted. I said, "Are you sure you want to do this for your session?"
That's what she wanted to do.
So I said, "Okay." On a walk. She took me on a 3-4 mile walk for the session.
If it was today, you'd be so happy because you'd be counting your steps.
I didn't even realize that. I said, "Okay, you want to walk?"
I remember that. That's a little strange.
I think she was just another lonely bird, and older lady. Who knows, man? People got their reasons for doing things. Everybody's different.
I mean, listen.
Some people just want company,
You know what? It's just like with coaching, okay? Not everybody hires us because they don't know macros, they don't know how to eat protein or work out. A lot of the clients come, they know how to do those things, but yet they can't reach their goals because it's missing something. Maybe they just need someone to talk to every once in a while.
Yes.
Someone to remind them why they're doing this.
Yes.
Someone to talk to when they're having a weak moment.
Of course.
So there's so many reasons that you hire a professional.
And listen, you can say all the things that they teach us, like, well, don't ever cross the threshold. Keep it professional. Bullshit. They get personal. We get personal. That's just the way it goes. Human nature. They open up. They let you know what's going on in their life.
Yeah, they do.
And like you told me, you had a client that was sick that you were super concerned about. Like it worried you,
Yeah. Oh, I've had that happen a few times. Or I get to know my clients. I know how they move. Meaning I know when they reach out. I know when, I know the ones that track religiously. And so if I notice something change, I right away, I'm like, oh, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
Because something's different. I just clock patterns.
Of course.
That is my brain. My brain clocks patterns. I think that's what, a lot of times I feel like it's intuition, but that's what it is. It's clocking patterns.
And yes, it's transactional because, we want to get paid for our time and whatnot. But also, we do become heavily involved with our clients. We want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And we want to talk them through our personal experience and life experience. Like, okay, this is what you're going to do if this hits or that's it. We know life's going to life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's going to go through it. So you want to keep them on the right track.
Yeah, and I think it is so much more than transactional.
It is 100%. As much as it's supposed to be, business, or you're just the trainer and the coach, and you just don't blur the lines. Like, I'm sorry, man, but human nature is they're not hiring a robot. We're not robots. We're humans too.
No, sometimes I find myself suddenly like a client from before, like a client I haven't heard from in a while, or haven't seen, or they, I haven't worked with them in a while. They'll come into my head, and I'll think like, oh, I wonder how this person's doing.
Me too. Even from the gym days.
Me
too. From way back then.
Yeah.
It happened to me recently. I forgot who I was thinking about. I was like, what happened to that person?
So weird that you just form a relationship, You
do. It happens.
Yeah. It's crazy. Speaking of what I was talking about earlier, hot coffee topic is, do you remember? It was like last summertime, over a year ago. So it was before when we were still in the other room. We were no studios. We were in that podcast hour because I remember we were at the table in the glam room, and I made a prediction that I felt that Lizzo was on a secret weight loss journey.
Yes, you
Remember
did.
I did that?
You did.
I have to find the episode. I need to actually find the clip. Yes, you do. That'd be great to put it in here.
Perfect.
Because I said, mark the date, mark the time, because listen, Lizzo, and around that summer, you and I were talking a lot about the body positivity movement and how we just were not in favor of it. I felt like it was unhealthy. It was not, and the people that were the most vocal about it in the celebrity world, I said, they're saying one thing, but they're not really feeling that. They're doing that because that's what they think their people, their audience, their fans want to hear. They're scared to say, hey, listen, I want to lose weight. I don't want to be big. I don't feel good. Because Lizzo used to be a big old thing like, oh, well, look at her. She's so healthy because she can do all these amazing tours and all her stamina, blah, blah, blah. And she's so happy in her skin. Big is beautiful. All fine and dandy. But I'm like, no, she's going to come out and she's going to shock everybody because she's on a secret weight loss journey. Guess what? She was on a talk show recently, came out. She's lost over 100 pounds. Like 200 pounds. I don't know, a lot of weight.
And let me guess. I haven't paid attention. I saw little clips of her working out, whatnot. I bet you that community is not pissed that she's coming to our side.
I don't know. That's a good thing to do. I want to go to look at her Instagram maybe and take a look. Oh yeah, she's going to get a lot of backlash, and that's what happens. Listen, Adele got backlash. Kelly Clarkson got backlash. All of the stars that were like known for being, a little like plus size, let's say, that lost weight, they faced backlash for the weight loss. You know who else did was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Heather.
I don't know who that is.
She was always considered the plus size girl of the cast. And she's like, no, F this. I'm tired of being the plus size girl. I'm going on Ozempic. I'm going to lose this weight, and I'm going to be next to all these skinny bitches next season.
Nice.
And it is what it is.
Good for her.
It's funny because someone will say, oh my God, look at you. And she goes, Ozempic. She has no problem. She goes, yeah, I shed that pounds. I have no qualms about it. And she's getting backlash because people were like, oh, it's so nice to see someone plus size. And you know what? She wasn't obese. I would say she was just kind of plus size. But when you're working side by side next to these size 2 women, of course it made her feel some type of way.
Of course it does.
And it's her right to, it's her body and her right to, listen, what I always say, look your best, feel your best. Look your best, feel your best. And feel your best is more important. And for some people, that means if they're, working side by side with these size 2s, they want to feel like them. They don't want to feel like Big Bird. I remember I used to call myself Big Bird. Sometimes I felt like Big Bird, like the big girl.
Yeah.
Around little people. I remember I was working at ADP. I was overweight, This is when I was before my journey. It was quite, 200 pounds or so. And I remember we all took a picture. All my coworkers took a picture in like a line. I don't know what we were doing, but we were all in a line. And I was like, oh my God, I look like just like Big Bird from Sesame Street next to the Muppets. That's how I felt.
Hella funny.
And I'll never forget. And you know why I said that too? Because that day I happened to be wearing like a yellow, I think I was wearing like a yellow maxi dress or something like that. And I literally looked like Big Bird.
Damn.
And I did not like it. I did not like the way I felt. And it was just kind of like I looked at that picture and I go, oh man, I need to do something. That was one of the moments, because you've asked me before, like, what were the moments? I mean, I definitely was like.
There's always moments that lead up to the big moment.
Yeah. But I remember that one. I was just kind of like, ugh.
Stung a little bit, right?
Because I didn't take pictures very much. So to see it was to face it. You have to understand, this was a time when you didn't have to face yourself in the camera, see yourself on social media. Listen, if you didn't look in the mirror, you never had to see yourself.
True.
I didn't look in the mirror before I got in the shower. I literally never did.
You kept it like this.
No. Not from the mirror view.
Let me pause you there. I wonder if a lot of people do that. Don't really know what they look like. Like avoid the mirror at all costs.
I mean, I did.
Wow. I don't know. I can't remember when I was at my heaviest that I looked in the mirror. Now, I saw the pictures, though. They're on my phone. I'm looking back like, whoa, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
But in the moment, I don't know what I was thinking. With my shirt off, I'm glad I took those, but geez, man, those are horrible. Talk about being overconfident. God, I still have my confidence, but I might have been a little too confident. Shirt off, really? Ugh. But I'm glad I got those to look back like, I'll never be that guy again. Mm-hmm. So I can relate to people who are on the other side.
Me too.
That's what's nice.
Me too. Like I said, I didn't look at myself in the mirror. I didn't take pictures. So when I came across one, it was kind of like, oh my God, that's what I look like? Because sometimes you just get used to it and you wear the same pants and sometimes the pants feel a little looser, you feel a little better. But so I don't know, it's like an out-of-body experience when you're kind of avoiding the inevitable. You're not happy, but you're kind of avoiding it by avoiding cameras, avoiding pictures, not going places. You don't want to see someone who hasn't seen. For me, because I wasn't always obese, I didn't want to see anybody that knew me before. I was like petrified of that, of seeing somebody that knew me before.
And you know what's sad? A lot of people, exactly what you faced back then, they're going through that right now. They can relate to this.
I know.
You got to face this thing head on. You got to face it head on, and you got to look yourself in the square in the mirror and be like, you know what? It's time to do something. It literally is. You got to do something. Only you can do it. No one can do it for you. Not a coach, not her, not I, nobody. Only you can do this for you.
I know. And that's what I mean, though. But that's why I get so, like, I want to help everybody. I want to help you. I'm like, I just tell you, like, please just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Because you got this. Like, you trust me. I possessed zero skills, no help back then. And if I could do it, you can definitely do it because I'm in your corner. And I know all the tricks and I'm there.
You know all the hacks.
You
everything.
have me in your corner. I'm not to toot my own horn or your horn or whatever, but I would have could have used one of me in the corner when I was trying to figure this out on my own.
I mean, listen. A lot of men hate to admit this, but you're the reason I look this way. You taught me macros. I told you my wife taught me the game, and I learned it, and I ran with it, and it changed my whole body, my mindset, everything. Showed me who I really, truly was deep down inside. Like, wow, there's a whole other person I never knew existed. Crazy how much it changed, because it's like a sculpture. It's like those Greek sculptures are all lean and fit and chiseled. Same thing. Everybody's lean and fit and chiseled. You just got to sculpt it. You got to reduce the weight and body fat. You got to stay on the journey, though. No matter how hard it gets, do not give up. Like my wife said, don't give up. You'll never be mad at yourself if you don't give up. You'll be happy. Like, yes, I fought. I didn't give up. You'll look back a year from now and be like, wow, we did this. Because what you do now determines the outcome of your future self. What you're doing right now.
The problem is a lot of people think that what they're doing right now, they're going to reap those rewards and see those rewards right now. And that's why people give up. They give up because they're not getting the results fast enough. It's never fast enough. It's never good enough. It's never going to be that way. But what I can tell you is as long as you, just like with you, right? As soon as you changed your mindset
Yes.
and said, you know what? I'm going to learn it. Like, just tell me I'm going to learn it.
Yep.
All the other times you're like, fucking hate this shit. I don't want to have to do this.
Yes.
You had this different attitude.
I did.
So guess what? You
Lazy.
didn't learn it. It didn't click because
No.
you had blockers on.
Yes.
I just had a conversation with one of my clients about that. I'm like, listen, you just have to flip that mindset off, because I'm sure you've been intrigued about this whole process for a long time. Macros, I keep hearing about it. But in your head, you're like, oh, but I don't want to do that. It's like you're stomping your feet. Like, but I don't want to do that.
I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people, there's been so much gimmicky shit out there, and a lot of people are tainted, and they tried all these different diets, and they all failed. Mm-hmm. So they're like, here's another gimmicky fucking diet. Tracking macro. What is this?
Yeah.
So instead of having an open mind, like, you know what? Let me look into this. Let me see what this tracking macro is all about. Then when you have an open mind, you'll have success. When you have a closed mind, you're not going to get nowhere in life. And too many people think because they're a certain age, or I'm already this age, that's it. I've learned what I need to learn in life. Hell no. There's so much to learn in life. You're never going to learn it all. But you have to have an open mind to learn, like I did. When you taught me, I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Teach me. Show me. I was 100% all in.
Yeah. And that's when everything changed.
Yes.
It's just, it's a mindset shift first. Mindset, then the actions, then the execution. But the mindset is everything. Without the mindset, the execution won't last, won't work. It just doesn't work. You got to switch the mindset. The I can attitude has to, you have to do that. All right, I'm going to try, or I'm going to learn. You have to just have that positive mindset.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So just a reminder, we have a members only portion of our channel, and our inner circle gets access to all our extra videos, which is after shows for every podcast, and our off topic episode, which we're on the set of off topic because this is our temporary studio. Candidly with Coffee studio is in the works, and we will be in the new studio shortly. I can't wait for that. But if you want to be a member of our channel, you just simply click join, and there's 2 levels. There is a supporter, which just supports our content. You get extra emojis, you get a special badge, or there's also the inner circle that gets all the BTS, all the extra content. In fact, the inner circle last week on Off Topic received a sneak peek of some of the studio designs that I'm working on. So join us if you are interested in more content from us. And we're going to take a little break for 1UP Nutrition, and we'll be right back. When it comes to the best supplements to support your muscle building and fat loss goals, 1UP Nutrition has you covered. Their gut health supplements have been a complete game changer for me. And I have to say, their protein powders are my absolute favorites. Mike and I literally order the peanut butter cookie and lemon Italian ice protein powders by the case. They are that good. With so many delicious flavors to choose from, 1UP Nutrition makes hitting your protein goals easy and enjoyable. So whether you're looking for supplements, protein powders, or anything in between, shop 1UP Nutrition for all your needs. And don't forget to use Janine to save at checkout. That's code JEANINE. All right, you guys, the Hold My Coffee of today is all of the people commenting on the TikTok video that I posted last week. It was a clip from our episode about people who are not building muscle because they're not doing the right workouts for muscle building. And the clip itself was talking about people who lift weights but do not eat protein, that they're wasting their time, because you're not going to build muscle without eating protein. And you would not believe the amount of people that commented saying that that was false. That is false. That you can absolutely build muscle without protein.
Sure, I can build a house without foundation. Okay.
Well, see, what happens is protein provides the amino acids that repair your muscles.
Yes.
Without that, the muscles are not going to repair back, and they're not going to repair back properly. You're not going to have muscle protein synthesis. That is what creates the growth in your muscles. So you might be able to create a stimulus without the protein, but there's not going to be the building blocks, the amino acids to repair those muscles back together ever so slightly bigger every time. So you're not going to get growth. Now, people that maybe they are experiencing some gains, listen, there is something called Newbie gains that does happen in your first 6 months to a year of lifting weights, where your protein needs are not as imperative. You still need protein to gain the muscle, but your muscle protein synthesis is maximized, so you can build muscle with less protein. You can also build muscle with less stimulus. You get all these benefits from being new to the game, but that will end, and you're not going to, continually build muscle without adequate protein. You got to meet the minimum protein requirements. Protein is an essential macronutrient. Essential.
Listen, there's a reason why there's a sport called bodybuilding. You think bodybuilders get to the size they are without protein? I mean, just look at them.
Yeah.
Look at how behemoth they are and how much protein they need to fill those muscles. Because basically, you have to think about this. Without getting too scientific, your muscles feed off the protein. That's their pure. That's what they need. That's what they need. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the body can't make it, so that's why it's essential. So that's why the one macronutrient that's not essential is carbs. And the reason, it's not because we don't need carbs. We do need carbs, but the body has a mechanism for making the glycogen, basically byproduct of carbs, making it on its own. It's called gluconeogenesis. So the body can do that. That's why we can live without carbs. The body will make the bare necessities of what it needs, like for brain health or cognitive or whatever it needs that for. But it can't make protein. It can't make fats. So it can't make fats out of thin air. Who knew? Because people would think that it could. I don't know where this fat came from. My body made it. My hormones made the fat.
It just made it out of thin air. And also, think about this. You see a lot of people coming from a guy who's been incarcerated, who's been in jail, is you see a lot of guys will come in a little bit on the thicker side. And all of a sudden, they start deflating. Why? Because everything they fed us in there is carbohydrate heavy and some fats, but everything's mostly carbs. Very little protein, very little protein. So you could tell, you could see the physiques. And in third world countries, what do they feed you? A lot of rice, beans, and things that are cheap. They don't give you a lot of protein, so those people very thin.
They're skinny fat or thin.
There you go.
What's funny is someone said, that's not true about my comment. That's not true. Then how do people get yoked in prison on the video? Well, I was like, first of all, there is ways to get protein in prison because you've told me many different things, tricks that you did.
Yes.
So the smart ones will figure it out. I'm not saying you need the top quality protein or 500 grams of protein a day, but you need a minimum amount of protein to support muscle growth, period. That is a fact. So that video has like over 100,000 views on TikTok.
I wish I would have went in the comments and broke it down.
No, don't bother. The TikTok comments, I didn't reply to a single comment. Not a single one.
I don't blame you.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Transcend and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, I'm super excited to share a special offer on something I've personally been using and taking and absolutely love. It's the NAD Plus injectable. This is a favorite among celebrities. I've heard tons of celebrities talking about it on podcasts lately, and it makes me even more excited that I'm taking it. Kind of like a fountain of youth kind of thing. I can totally see why. NAD Plus has been a game changer for my cognitive health, energy, and overall wellness. Right now, Transcend is offering an amazing 20% off NAD Plus and other cognitive health peptides. If you're already a Transcend patient, just reach out to your wellness specialist to take advantage of this deal. If you're not a patient yet, now's the perfect time to join the Transcend family. Use my link, transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite to book a consult and find out which peptides are right for you. Don't miss out. Improve your cognitive health and overall wellness with this amazing offer. All right, you guys, just a reminder, 20% off there's a certain list of peptides for the month of October that are 20% off. One of those peptides that is on sale is the NAD Plus. And I take it, Mike takes it, we love it. It's for energy, for metabolism, for, speed up cell turnover. Good stuff. It's like the fountain of youth.
Anti-aging.
That's what I love it for.
Exactly.
So that I can still look like this in 10 years.
The world of peptides and all that is ever changing. It's game changer, the stuff they're coming out with. Like, we're going to look like 60 and look like we're in our 40s. That's going to be dope. I can't wait. I'm not afraid of it. Like, you don't have to be fearful of aging anymore.
Well, yeah. You just got to do your best to look your best at any age. And that's what I teach. That's what I preach. That's what I teach.
That's
I'm
it.
not trying to look younger than my age. I'm just trying to
Look the best at your age.
look the best for my age.
Me
I'm
too.
very proud of my age. I
So
have
am I.
no issues with being my age.
Well, a lot of people lie, men included. They lie. I'm proud. I'm like, yo, I'm killing it. I'm gonna be 50 in January.
Yeah,
January
actually,
24th.
speaking of the inner circle, remind me. I want to talk about that on the after show.
All right.
We just found out of somebody
Yep.
that we know that's been lying about their age.
Lying.
Ooh, okay. All right, comment corner. Hannah Pramholt. You touched on bone loss for women post-menopause in your last episode, and I remember thinking about my mother. She's just past 60. She's never worked out. I've been worried about her, and I've tried to get her into the gym. 2 days ago, she stepped on a rock and broke her foot, and I promise it wouldn't have happened if she had any muscles protecting her and supplements to help with the weaker bones as she ages. But she's part of the generation where working out isn't the norm, and it bothers me so much. She thinks I'm extreme for working out 3 days a week.
It's a different era. There was a woman who started powerlifting at 65 years old. She's now 82, and she's one of the strongest powerlifters.
It's crazy
for
to
her
me.
age
She's
in the world.
Her mom's not that old. She's 60. She's only 12 years older
That's
than me.
not nothing. That ain't nothing. There's people who are barely starting off at 60, and I see them. They're like in their 70s, and you're like, wow, you did that with that little bit amount of time? Because they locked in and said, I'm going to do it. They just told themselves, like, why not?
No, but she's right, though. That's what happened with her. It's like we're just coming into that generation where
You're right.
it's starting
You're
to be more normal, for older people even to work out. Because my parents used to think I was extreme. My mom would be like, ugh, the gym again. That's what she would say.
Oh, my goodness. The gym again.
I told you, my mom didn't own a pair of like tennis shoes my entire life.
You're right. We got lucky. We caught the era of the years we were born. We caught the era of wrestling. Mm-hmm. We caught the era of I don't know if you did, but we caught the era of like bodybuilding, the glory years, 80s, 90s. Mm-hmm. Caught the era of what else was going on? And then eventually MMA fighting came around. Just a lot of stuff that we got lucky for our era that we're in tune with everything, you know? And the movies, of course, the big movie stars, Sylvester, Arnold. Mm-hmm. I caught Van Damme, and I don't know many others have inspired me. Like, I want to look like those guys. Mm-hmm. And now today, I was smiling. I was looking at stuff. I'm gonna do a post about it. Say, listen, those guys, Sylvester, like Van Damme, Arnold, inspired me. I thought, like, man, one day I want to look like him. Here I am, almost 50. Now I'm killing it. Look like them and then some. Mm-hmm. At my age, I'm happy.
You know what's interesting? The mindset of my parents. Anytime I would get sick, and this is recent, like say over the last decade. Anytime I would get sick, or Alyssa would get sick, or Tyler would get sick because they're all into the gym and fitness, my dad would always say, see, it's too much time in the gym. It's making everybody sick. Like he would blame it on the gym. Too much with the weights, too much. He would always he would think that's the problem. And I would get so triggered. I'd be like, that's what's keeping me healthy,
Yeah.
He would get so bothered.
I hate to say it, but old folks just don't know. It's beyond their time, beyond their understanding. They've missed the boat. They didn't have that era like we did.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and it would be so triggering for me because he would always blame it. Like
everybody blames the gym. Even after I had my damn stroke, people are like, I don't want to put them on blast, but like, you sure you're not overdoing it or working out too much or excessive? Ask me, brother, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for building this strong body and mindset, I'd probably be in a different predicament.
Right.
You understand that? I lost a cousin at 40.
Instead of them saying to you, man, bro, do you think it was like all those years of like hard partying?
All the
no,
drugs
they didn't
you
say
did?
that.
Yeah.
Nope.
All the drinking you did, all the drugs you done. No. You sure eating healthy didn't cause this? Man, the mindset of people is...
Think it's all that red meat? The seed oils?
the mindset is so ass backwards.
You're right. It's not the random pills and the binge drinking and the ecstasy and the daily weed. None of those.
Yeah, no.
It's the seed oil. That's what it is.
The seed oil. You got me. Damn, I shouldn't have been working out 6 days a week, man.
Oh my gosh. I swear. It kills me. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Mega Fit Meals and we'll be right back. When it comes to hitting your macros, Mega Fit Meals makes it so easy with their delicious macro-friendly meal prep options. Mike and I are constantly on the go these days, and these meals are a lifesaver during some of our busiest weeks. Whether you're craving chicken tenders, pizza, filet mignon, or even pasta, Mega Fit Meals has something for everyone. All meals are high in protein, made with quality ingredients, and designed to help you crush your health and fitness goals. And the best part, there's no subscription required, so you can order as you need. Save time without sacrificing nutrition. And if you want to try it for yourself, use our link in the description and enter code Janine for a discount. That's code JEANINE. MegaFit Meals has you covered. All right. Well, I want to talk about the overwhelm that people get when they don't know where to even begin. No. They either do nothing or everything.
Too much.
Or the shiny toy syndrome, meaning they want to lose weight, but they're waiting for, or they want there to be this one like holy grail thing that is the answer, but they won't even put trust into that shiny toy for very long, because then if there's another shiny toy that comes along, they found another Instagram page or another YouTube video and it's a totally different method, they'll hop over to that because they didn't lose 20 pounds in a week on this one. So they're going to hop to that one and hop to that one. I think most people do that.
Well, they do.
They don't dedicate to one method long enough to know if it works.
I had a client, he was telling me his woman was doing that, getting advice and tips off of TikTok. I said, hey, let me give you one piece of advice. Whatever you do, don't follow her advice. She has no idea what she's doing. The other shit off of TikTok and this is bro bullshit. This is like 90s all over again. These people don't know shit. They don't have a background in it. They're not coaches themselves. They hear something, then they'll create a page or run their mouth on it, and the video might go viral and people start taking it like it's believable. There's no backing. If it ain't BioLane or Huberman or the big names out there, forget about it. You ain't listening to those two names?
Right.
Don't.
I mean, at least check the credentials. At least
credentials.
Make sure they have credentials.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I did like a little mini day in the life on Instagram of like my Mondays, because Mondays are really heavy client stuff, because I do all my client check-ins, I do video calls, I do all the things. But I was talking about how, I was explaining, when you see me disappear off social media, like, I'm still here. It's just that influencing is not my job. Social media and all this is not my job. My job is a coach. I'm a coach, and that is beyond a full-time job.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get so busy with that I don't have as much time for social media. The thing about, this world right now, is I feel like there's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, like you said, maybe they had a video go viral, or they transformed themselves, or something happened and they got a huge following and they became influencers. They're influencers, basically. They start selling products and hawking everything they get their hands on. But because of their following, they thought, I could probably make some money selling some programs or coaching or whatever.
Yeah.
But they are not a coach. That is a byproduct of, they have a big following. They're trying to monetize that following. So they are a coach on the side. But they like to, sometimes I've seen, and I know a few, that it's almost like they pretend they're a coach and that the influencing is on the side, but it's really vice versa. They got a large following. They started like making some, money that way. And then they also realized, I could also make money doing this. Someone actually got in a lot of trouble. I think it was like an Australian influencer who was claiming that she was doing like custom coaching programs. She claimed that she was a trainer. She had no credentials. Her programs were not custom. They were
cookie cutter
programs. She got sued there was some law she broke or whatever, but she got sued.
Ooh.
She had to pay back like a lot restitution, and it was
I'm glad.
It was a big
I wish
thing.
that happened more often, because there's a lot of people who are phonies come into this space, and even they'll learn from a coach. Okay, you learn the blueprint, you got it, you change yourself. Doesn't mean you're a coach. Doesn't mean you're ready for it. This game is very psychological. It's not just I learned something, I'm going to copy, paste, Here you go for you. Everybody's different. Got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wannabes
really
out
do.
there with no credentials whatsoever.
Okay, so if you do want to start, like, let's just say you want to get started and you're not ready to hire a coach. You don't want to do macros. You've got that closed mindset still. The good news for you, if you've got a lot of weight to lose, you can do some things to get the ball rolling. And then when you're ready, you can layer in more stuff.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is the very first thing is start eating protein. Start being mindful of protein in every meal.
That part.
And here's another little trick. I actually heard this from the Mind Pump podcast, and I was like, yes, that is brilliant. Eat your protein first. So always pick a protein-centric meal and eat the protein first. Then the veggies and like all the healthy stuff first, and then the carbs, the last. Because what you just ate is going to help balance the blood sugar response from those carbs. You're also going to be more satiated, so you're going to eat less carbs. The worst thing you can do is start eating the bread in a basket.
The worst.
The worst. It's going to spike your insulin. You're going to eat way more than you would have. Like you need to eat. In fact, what would be a good suggestion is order a protein appetizer. Say no bread, do like shrimp, the cold, like any of the cold stuff, like the shrimp cocktail, crab cocktail, stuff like that. Tuna tartare, you know.
I mean, what do we do when we go to a Mexican restaurant usually?
Ceviche.
We always split a shrimp cocktail.
Or a shrimp cocktail, yeah.
We usually split one to start off with.
So eat your protein, start eating more protein, being mindful of that, and eat your carbs and your treats and all of that last. So protein first. Always fill up on protein first. The other thing that you're going to want to do, because a lot of times what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring down your food volume without you actually having to track. Okay, so that's what these tips are for. Another thing you can do is after every meal, walk. Walk at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes after every single meal. It's going to be a huge impact on your blood sugar. Your blood sugar is going to drop. It's going to come down. You're not going to have that spike. Your body's going to utilize what's kind of like readily available in the bloodstream for that walk. So it's going to like regulate everything, keep you nice and balanced. It's going to control your appetite. You're actually going to feel the satiety of your meal more so after the walk than when you were first done eating. Because when you're first done eating, sometimes you're hungrier. Have you ever heard people say, I'm actually hungrier after I start eating?
Happens to me.
Yeah. So that's why. It's because it's an insulin response. So if you can mitigate that with a walk, which is good for you for so many reasons, health reasons, digestion, also, you know, if you're pre-diabetic or lowering your A1C in general, that is going to help you lower your A1C. On another topic, a lot of people, they think they know that they have to lower their A1C, but they actually have no idea what that means.
They don't.
No idea. So what it means, just to let you guys know, is your A1C, it's kind of like the average that your blood, the average blood glucose levels. So if your A1C is high, it means your average blood glucose over the course of time is trending high. So you want to bring that down by bringing your blood sugar down, not always having that spikes or those blood sugar spikes where it's high for a while, because that is going to raise your A1C. So you do not want that. Higher A1C is an indication of insulin resistance too. Your body's resistant because it sees the insulin all the time. You're constantly having spikes. Your body's constantly seeing, insulin, and it becomes resistant to it. Just like with everything else, the body adapts. So that's what it's doing. So you want to bring those numbers down with a walk after you eat. It'll make a big difference. Another thing is set a step goal. Pay attention. What do you step currently? Start bumping that up.
Movement is everything.
Yeah.
I keep saying.
Bump up your step goal. Another thing is mindful eating. Mindful eating. What I mean by that is when you're eating, do nothing else. Do nothing else. Enjoy your food. Enjoy every bite. Just sit and just enjoy the meal. Don't be on your computer. Don't be listening to podcasts. Don't be talking to somebody. Don't be on the phone. Don't be standing. Sit and enjoy your meal.
And then one more thing, eat slow, which I got to get better at.
Eating slow.
Yeah.
I kind of eat fast. I'm a fast eater, but I need to work on that. I like to savor my food, but.
Now I read this in NASM too. I'm not making this up.
Just some things to leave you with before we end is what to avoid. Avoid unnecessary rules and regulations on yourself because it's not sustainable. So don't say, okay, I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to eat no sugar, or I'm going to eat no carbs, or I'm going to eat no, because eventually you will, because the brain doesn't work well with deprivation. You'll just want it more and you'll give in and you'll overindulge. So try to avoid like eliminating entire food groups, eliminating entire macronutrient groups. And then the one thing I always say is whatever you are doing in order to lose weight, no matter how many different things you layer in, tracking macros or exercise or cardio, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, if you cannot do it forever, it's not sustainable. If you cannot do this way of eating forever. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will say, I'm just going to lose it by going on this 500 calorie diet. And then when I lose the weight, then I'll do the right thing and I'll eat balanced and blah, blah, blah. It won't work. I'm going to lose it by doing keto. And then when I lose the weight, I'm going to start eating carbs again. It won't work. So remember that the way in which you lose the weight is going to be the way in which you maintain it, with some modifications, because we can modify macro tracking and stuff like that a little bit. But it's very important because I know a lot of people, they want the quick fix. They want to lose it in such a way that is rapid, that is very restrictive because they want instant gratification. It just doesn't work. It just does not work. I've seen that time and time again. So resist the urge to do that. Try some of these other tips. Eat protein, set a step goal, walk after every meal. And then when you're ready, we'll start to layer in some more things. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.